How's it going, everybody? This is Beat the Bush. This is the Synxiter cordless paint sprayer. Last time I used a spray gun was with a paint sprayer can that required a compressor, but look at this. It just requires you to add your own DeWalt battery and it'll work. This allows you to not lug a cord around. Ballpark cost of this thing is less than $40. Let me go back and unbox this, show you what's included and all the features of this. This is the main handle, the spray head with the paint container, a little funnel thing, brushless motor, interestingly, the instruction manual. There's a little pin to clear the nozzle, a little brush for cleaning the tubes, and included is a larger paint nozzle. If you look at the one that's included, this one has a larger inner diameter, so more paint would come out. That's it in the box. This piece goes right in here. You twist it and lock it into place. This trigger pushes that button right here. Open up the paint container, twist this open. There's this front cap here. We can change the front nozzle, put this back on, put the nozzle on, and put the cap back on. The only important thing here is the spray distance, 200 to 250 millimeters. This translates to around 8 to 10 inches with a spray width of 8 to 12 inches. And in order to have the paint flow freely, you need the paint to have a certain viscosity, not too thin and not too thick. You do that with this little funnel thing and time how long it takes for it to come out of the funnel. Fill it up to this notch over here. You just dip it in, pull it out. A little hard to see on this clear container, but it does say 1 liter at this mark right here. This straw nozzle will swing forward or backwards. So if you're painting upwards, you can face it downwards. So by the time you put in the container, the straw would kind of face towards the bottom and it'll suck up all the paint. If you're painting downwards, you face it forward. And when you put it in, you go like that, and all the paint will be on the forward side. This is the flow rate adjuster. You turn it left to close it to get minimum flow rate. You turn it right to open it to get maximum flow rate. To remove this motor part of the paint gun, push this latch in while holding onto the handle and twist it 90 degrees and it comes right out again. When you look at the nozzle, the air is coming in from the inner circle here. If you look at this little nozzle on the back side, there is 2 positions for air to come out of. So the top and bottom holes has jets of air that comes out to shape the paint that's coming out. When it's in this position, air comes out. So it's going to be kind of like an oval spray pattern. Notice this notch only allows you to twist it 90 degrees. When it's in this position, air does not come out. So it's going to come out like a circle. You need to provide your own DeWalt battery. In terms of color, the DeWalt yellow is a little bit darker, a little bit more red than this color over here. But let me plug it in. Fits okay. Just press the button. It's like a blow dryer almost. You got to start with this notch in this hole and then twist it. So let's try that. I'm going to do some actual painting on the exterior of the house. This is acrylic latex type paint and we need it to be a run out time of 45 to 90 seconds. I assume it will do something like that, but I'm going to time it anyway. Pull it up to that line there. Start. Okay, this is the minimum. More than half of it is gone, so I think it's going to hit the 90 seconds. There we go. Right at around 90 seconds, it's all run out. So we're good on viscosity, so I can fill up the paint can now. Have it on circular mode and minimum flow all the way this way. Let's give this a try. This is not working well with the smaller nozzle, so I'm going to switch it out to the bigger one. I'm going to try to cover up some of this stain right here. And also this spot. Also actually gets a little paint dried on at the tip. So if I remove that, I used up 1 liter of paint. It turns out it was sputtering a little bit because it's too thick. It would come out for 3 seconds, stop for like 2 or 3 seconds, and then come out. So what I found out was I needed to dilute my paint so it's on the low end of the viscosity settings. For my paint, I diluted it 1:1. So let's do that. And I'm gonna show you guys again what that looks like. They give these away at Home Depot. I didn't have it at first. Still doesn't open. All right, put this on. And now we can pour nicely in here. Remove that. Put the cap back on. And this is filled up to here. So I'll just add more water. This is a water-based paint. And use the sticks they give away to mix it. I found out that if you twist this in here and shake it in the paint spray gun, it actually gets inside in this area, so that's no good. So I want to mix it instead. Before spraying, you should wear proper protection. This is a P100 aspirator for paint, eye protection, ear protection, because this is really loud. So let's give this a try. I have it on circular mode with the maximum flow rate. This will be the circular pattern. I'm about 8 inches away. And I'm going to turn this so that the air presses against this and mix it into a flat pattern. Here it is again, circular pattern. Flat pattern. I'm going to paint other stuff around the house and then I'll wrap up by a conclusion. For the viscosity setting, it said 45 to 90. I would dilute it towards the faster end. It needs to be more thin for some reason. It doesn't have all the power in the world to spray really thick paint out. During the course of using this, I thought that this bent straw was a bit annoying because why don't they have some kind of gravity fed straw thing with like a little metal ball, so whichever way you tilt it, it would go that way. Because sometimes I am spraying down, sometimes I'm spraying up. I don't want to take this container out and this is all dripping wet with paint. I have to go in there and twist it with my finger. So I don't know if they use gravity fed things for paints, but this would be very useful in this situation. I also had a problem when I filled it up all the way to 1 liter over here. I closed the thing, and when it's filled up so high, you can only tilt it like about this much before it touches the top seal over here. And look at the seal. This hole right here is actually pushing air into the container. So it's kind of like pressurizing it so that the paint will go up this straw. If you gunk this up, then it can't pressurize it. So I had a situation where I tilted a little bit too much. It's all gunked up, the paint won't come out. And you start thinking that maybe it's a nozzle or somewhere else. No, it's the bottom. So my recommendation is to only fill this up halfway or so. And that worked really well when I did it one time. It just used up all the paint really quickly. Because when you fill it up halfway, you can pretty much tilt it about 45 degrees and it's not gonna gunk up the top. This spray gun requires some getting used to, some learning curve. But once you know how to operate this smoothly, it works really well. Also, you gotta watch out for the sound that it makes. If your battery starts getting low, it's not gonna sound as strong. And when that happens, paint also does not come out. Anytime no paint comes out, you gotta figure out what's wrong with it. After you're done, you have to clean the entire thing. What you can do is remove this electronic part with the motor, and all of this has no electronics, so you can basically submerge all of this. Take the nozzle out. There will be a whole bunch of paint that's in here. You gotta clean that out. You gotta pull this part out, clean this entire thing. Bunch of paint will be in here, and you just gotta use that little brush tool over here, clean everything. It takes a while to do it. And what's not included is a little brush. You'll need this to brush everything else. Brush this front nozzle, and you have to use that tiny pin over here to kind of clean this nozzle over here. Make sure most of the paint is gone, because if you have any dried on paint, you're basically not going to use this the next time. If you want to keep on using it, then yes, you have to clean it very well after you paint. So there you have it. I hope you guys watched this video, because then you would know how to use this a lot better than I do the first time around and can save yourself some time. Overall, a really cheap spray gun. If you know how to use it, it will work very well. If you guys are interested in getting the spray gun, check out my affiliate link down in the video description below. Thanks for watching this video. Until next time.